solid crystal sheets of ice, fighting the elements one step at a time. Endurance, strength, the moxie to conquer the mountain. No small feat, but for Margot Talbot, this is only half of the story.
I suffered from depression from my early teens, started drinking and doing drugs from the time I was 12.
Then at the age of 22, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, sending her even further into a downward spiral.
I was just trying to cope with situations that were hard for me to cope with as a child, and became harder and harder as I became an adult, because I didn't have a lot of socialization. I didn't have a lot of coping mechanisms.
Her life was all about fighting the demons of depression and thoughts of suicide, until she found what would become the key to turning her life around.
I felt free.
A former boyfriend introduced her to something she'd never tried before, ice climbing. And as intimidating as this was, she says it became an emotional outlet.
Initially, climbing was like another drug for me. When I went climbing, I was so focused on what was happening on the ice or the rock that everything disappeared, all of the chaotic emotions in my mind.
After 2 years of intense climbing, Talbot was able to leave her addictions behind, and she hasn't looked back since. Now she looks forward, and her challenge? Telling her story. After writing a book about her journey, she says she's finally accepting her past and is moving on. Today, she works with youth, women, and amputees, telling her story and showing them the passion she has for this sport.
If you love something, you will become good at it. Because I didn't set out to be a really good ice climber. I just loved it from the moment I first tried it.
And as she moves up the climbing walls of the Craig X climbing gym, effortlessly moving from one ledge to another, it's clear this is more than just climbing.
And lower.
Talbot is in town promoting her book, All That Glitters, hoping to help other people fighting addiction find a way out. And she says it doesn't have to be climbing. It can be any activity as long as there's passion, because she says it's passion that gives us the strength
and lower
to overcome adversity. In Victoria, I'm Sucheta Singh for The Daily.